president. Have they ever thought in terms of trying to run for president as a Democratic, you know, to try to bring about democratic changes in there? Are there any reform candidates ever running for president in Nigeria in any of these aspects? I don't mean to be facetious, but I mean, oftentimes, people want to improve things and et cetera, rather than just
sitting there as president.
Sitting in the office.
That's correct. Your question is very relevant, and that's the problems a lot of the countries are having in Africa. It's not that they don't have the materials, people to do it. They do. But a lot of those who want to get into politics get frustrated out of it because of what they see. Sometimes they have to rig it. Sometimes they have to give people money to change, results without even, counting the votes. All those things. So a lot of, Africans who have the intellect, to change things, like you said, bring out reforms and changes, are sidelined, or they are scared of even getting into that arena because they know, it's life and death.
Life and death.
Yeah, either you're getting killed or you just get arrested on this and thrown in jail for all that. Yeah, so that's a very good question. Yes, a lot of them want to be president, want to be vice president, want to be prime minister, just to sit there and do nothing. Yeah. You see, normally you'll expect somebody who wants to be president to have some ideas of how to bring changes, improve things,
feed folks.
Exactly, feed folks, build schools, build hospitals, and let people know what the government is planning to do in the next 4, 5 years, 6 years. You never hear that. Like those running for election in Nigeria now, you can ask any of them to give you a manifesto. What is he going to do? How many schools are you going to build in the next 5 years when you're in power? How are you going to improve the electric situation in the country in the next 5 years? How many jobs are you going to create in the next 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years? How many places are going to have schools? None of that. Up till now, I've been searching, none of that. They just want to be president. And because they have a population that is not very, very politicized or not very well educated, to read between the lines, then they can get away with it. Most of them won't even debate, to come on TV and sit and debate each other, let people hear them talk and say, no, they don't. No. A lot of them hide away from those things because they don't even have any ideas to tell the people. Okay?
Only thing they want to do is to be president or
that's
be in
that's correct.
Or whatever.
Yeah, intimidate people and be president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces and all that day in and day out, But tell them to give you a broad, strategic, proposals of how you're going to change things. Like now, people in Nigeria want constant electricity, constant power. None of them have said, this is how I'm going to do it in the next 5 years. Every village has, will have lights. None of that, okay? Schools, a lot of schools now, a lot of students are on strike, okay? Now, by the time they go back to school, it will be 1 semester or 2 gone. How are you going to stabilize those kind of situations so these things don't continue happening? Water. The country has huge water resources. How are you going to make sure that everybody in 5 years while I'm in power has at least, some water. Exactly, some water. None of these kind of things. And in most of the African countries, the same. The politicians don't address the issues that people want to know. So that's very important.
And of course, Dr. LMadu, we're coming to the end of the show for today. And what we're going to have to do is to have you back and to talk about the United States initiatives toward Africa, because I think that too is important. But I think what you've already laid out here is that Africa is coming back. But once many of these individuals who are more concerned about their own personal political involvement develop some kind of initiative dealing with the people, you see, then I think that we'll see a better situation in Africa. But I certainly want to thank you and tell you how much we appreciate you coming by and giving us that information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.